Welcome to the day 4 of the L2 construction series. Now, the first 3 days, we had a more serious topic about the managing the impact of COVID-19. Today, we're going to have a lighter topic to talk about. We are going to talk about technology. We're going to discuss as to how technology would be able to help a particular company, in particular today, a construction company, to enhance their efficiency and also their effectiveness in running the business, and also perhaps to sail through the recession period or the upcoming recession period, as a lot of people have predicted. Now, as a lawyer, I have actually encountered a lot of the issues when dealing with the clients. When the client has a problem, they said that I have a case, a dispute, a construction dispute, and they will seek for advice, and we will prepare the case for them. But the thing is that whenever I ask for crucial documents like site diaries, payment certificates, and any other correspondence that they have actually sent out during the course of the project, what happened is that when they give me the documents, most of the time is not arranged properly, and it is also not complete. And sometimes I wonder, when I inquire further, they would say that, we actually depends on the management. Sometimes people come and go, and there could be a period of absent of a project manager or a director, which makes the record documentation becomes weaker during the time. Now, I was actually wondering, as you say that technology has become so advanced now, would you be able to actually use technology to fill up these weaknesses insofar as the documentation or recording is concerned by a particular company? As you know, when it comes to fighting a case or pursuing a case in law or in court or in arbitration, documentation is always the most important thing. Sometimes you might have a good case in your mind, but then when it comes to evidence, you do not have a complete documentation. That would definitely weaken your case. Now, I am actually not, when I was actually born in an era where technology was not as widely used as today. And I can also see that, the older you are today, right, the more resistance you have in using technology. So today, I would think that the MCO is actually the realization point. When everybody is locked down, you practically can't do any physical works, but yet technology like Zoom, what we are having today, right, actually help us to connect with everybody. Actually, it helps the people to connect with the team as well, to ensure that the works continue to be done, even though we are in a virtual lockdown. So that's why I realized that, technology is actually quite amazing. And it is really the era that we cannot ignore, the technology era. It is going to be more widely used as time goes by. And therefore, we thought that today we should talk about technology and how, in a way, the technology would be able to help us to enhance our company in running the business. Now, Hong Kit, my host partner today, you as a claim consultant, I'm sure you have actually encountered a lot of the issues as well, and you would have hoped technology would be able to come in and resolve those issues and make it easier for you. Can you share perhaps some views or experience that you have encountered in relation to this point?
Yeah, sure, Loon. First, good morning, everyone. This is day 4. So one of the most common problems faced by construction project is cost overrun. And this can be caused by a lot of reasons, such as mismanagement of project materials, mismanagement of subcontractors' payment, and etc. For example, sand brick may be wrongly purchased by a purchaser sitting in the office for a project which specification is clay brick, or in another scenario, miscommunication between the project site and the purchaser could order excess building materials. In fact, I've also often seen situations where subcontractors' works were over-certified and then overpaid due to perhaps careless valuation by the contractor staff. This would all result in wastage of materials and also overpayment. However, you see, despite clearly knowing the cause of the problem, this is very difficult to avoid as project management is human-centric and cannot be carried out by machines, at least not just yet. The bosses are normally too occupied for off-site issues and simply do not have the time to micromanage every single purchase or every single payment to subcontractor. To achieve zero waste or zero error, you don't just need great project team, but you also need seamless cooperation and coordination on the project sites. You need people that are motivated to work productively for you at all times, 24/7. To be honest, which is rather unrealistic expectation. And also, I think the aim is not to wipe off the issues completely, which is impossible, but is to minimize and mitigate the issues. This can actually be done with the help of construction technology, which impacts communication in project management and in turn improves supervision, monitoring, and also draw clear line of accountability and control under a project management flow. So who is to be held accountable for a purchase? Is it the site supervisor? Or is the QS who does the taking off? Or the purchaser who actually clicks the button to order the material? Or at the top of the chain, the project manager? So this can be dealt with the construction technology is in place. So just like you say, Loon, at the age of technology boom, perhaps this is the time when the construction industry can also take advantage of technology. Thank you, Loon.
Yeah, okay, and I think it's timely now, especially during this MCO period, for us to take our time and also understand what these technology are that are available in the market and how this technology can actually help us to enhance the running of our business. We are lucky today to have a special guest, Ms.Teoh, who is actually the founding partner of Speedbrick Solutions. Puiman, are you here, Puiman?
I'm here. Hello, everyone. Good morning.
Okay, Puiman, can you perhaps briefly introduce yourself to the audience?
Oh, yes. Thank you so much. Firstly, thank you so much for having me here today. It is definitely an honor to be here and able to see so many of you here. Just briefly about myself, I am a lawyer that have ventured into the construction industry. I have an actual site experience where I started off as a site supervisor. Throughout the years of my experience working at site, the major problems like Hong Kit mentioned is actually on, one major problem is on communications. When I was at site, I actually work at midnight because we do infrastructure work on sewage pipe. During that time, I have to order material and my office is closed. The next day, I have to go into the office at 8 o'clock in the morning to make sure my material is actually within my budget and actually can go into my site for the day, the work at that particular night. I have then actually do a lot of research on, hey, come on, do we actually have technology to solve this problem? After looking and looking and looking, I realized, okay, I might as well just build my own. That is where I am able to founded Speedbrick Solutions, which is the construction software company. Our focus is only on helping contractors. We don't do any other solutions, only on contractors, on helping them to save, prevent some wastage from happening, and hopefully are able to address some of the issues that they faced. Back to you, Loon. That's about myself.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, you have briefly talked about the software, and you said that you have actually encountered those problems when you're working as a construction worker, like site supervisor and also purchaser and project coordinator. And could you actually, you mentioned a little bit about the tech software as well that you have tried to venture into and you have also designed. Can you perhaps demonstrate to the audience and how this software works as an example, so that all of us can get a feel of it?
Yes.
Okay, can. That is certainly I can do that. But because of time, I'm just going to do a very short one and highlight only on the important aspects. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to split my demonstrations into two different parts. The first one, I'm going to address the procurement issues, the overbuying issues that Hong Kit have just mentioned. The second part, I'm just going to quickly show contractors on how they are able to monitor the financial aspect. Without further ado, let me just share my mobile phone screen. Okay, what you see here, this is actually my mobile phone. You can see that it's exactly the same time as your time right now. So I'm going to also do a role play. Okay, our solutions allow different users to access it. And when they access it, they can see different things. Financial people can see money, other people cannot see. Let's assume right now I am a site supervisor and I want to buy material. All I need to do is go to my phone and click on this button here. And then as a site supervisor, my focus is on buying material. So I will click on a button here called Create MR, which is the material request. When I click into it, it will bring me to a material request page, but I will not focus on that. Right now, I will focus on the issues that Hong Kit just mentioned. Whose accountability it is when over budget happens. In our solutions, there is a material list. This list is pre-calculated by the QS in the office. Every time when site people order material, they will be able to know whether they are within or exceeded budget with one click. You see, I just clicked one click just now, and now I see that, oh, there's a red color. As a site supervisor, I know that there's an over budget instantly. So let's say I am very deal. I checked and I know that, oh, I still need this material. I will order it. So once they order it, this piece of information will instantly translate into the project manager phone, which they will be able to come here is called an MR pending my approval. The project manager will then be able to see the same important informations, whether you are within or exceeded your budget. This is what the project manager will see. So let's say the project manager say, oh, there's over budget, I'm not going to approve this. This information, the refusal of approving, will then pass on to the office. So now your purchaser will actually see the information instantly from here. Your purchaser will be able to go into this place and check, oh, what has been approved and what has not been approved. If they want to order material that have not been approved, the moment they click create PO, instantly the system will tell them, oh, there's a risk alert here. Hey, there's a risk here. Why are you ordering material? Purchaser will have to put in the reason of why they want to order the material. When they order the material already, this piece of information will go to the last gatekeeper, which is the director or the financial controller, under PO pending my approval. One click, they will be able to see. First thing is the red tag. This is a warning to them. Hey, you are over budgeting. Your MR is not being approved. Why are you buying material? Bosses will be able to see when they want to get details, they can see the percentage. The system auto calculated the percentage of how they are seeing, how much they are overbuying. In other words, what we just did here is we just managed to put all different departments to see different informations and allow everyone's job to monitor the budget on material. So I'm just going to quickly show another portion, which is in terms of finance, because most of you here are directors, I hope. Directors are more concerned about financial part. Of what about my financial? I want to know how much money I collect and how much money I spend. We also have another solutions that provide just right that in terms of their financial, your financial information. First information director can see is how much money my client owe me. Okay. If they want to drill down into more details, they will go into the report. The report will actually show them how much money they collect and how much money they spend. This is in one glance, they will be able to see, oh, okay, this is how. And just now, one very important department we haven't mentioned, which is the QS. You know, every month, QS have to actually issue certificate to subcontractors. How they are doing it today is they use Excel. Yeah, after they do it, they have to compile a report. So the report is not automated. Every month, they spend a lot of time compiling report for directors. With our solutions, the good thing is the reporting is compiled automatically. In a project, director can see how many subcontractors is working for me in this project and what are the contract awarded and how much I certify them all in one glance. And you may have a question says, oh, hello, is it difficult to use? And the answer is actually not. We actually allow QS to issue certificate through the system, and the fund after the certificate is being issued, they can actually print it out. The view of certificate is like this. Apart from the certificate, they will also be able to issue back charge invoices. So this is just some of the important features that we have. Because of time, I'm not going to go into too much detail. Thank you so much, Loon. I'm passing this back to you.
Puiman. Yeah, I really like what you show us. However, it's a general perspective that construction industry is, construction technology software such as this is not cheap. In light of many other problems that the construction companies are likely to face now, like paying overhead, subcontractors and materials, why would construction companies want to invest at this difficult time?
Right now, it is a very difficult time, yes. But the analogies that I would use is, if your boat that you are sailing, which is your company, is sinking, will you choose to sink or will you choose to swim? Using technology is actually allowing your people to be more efficient. They are able to be more productivity. They are able to do things faster. As an end result, you save more money and it allows you to give a better cash flow. Thank you, Hongkit.
Pullman, I'm sorry, I think you have not answered my question yet. I actually did not ask you whether the boat is sinking or not. Or perhaps I have not made my question clear. Let me rephrase. So, you see, when money is limited or not enough, there will be an order of priorities to pay. I assume a construction company would want to pay their staff salaries, subcontractors, or suppliers first, rather than investing in technology in this difficult time. So can you please share your view with the audience on this point, please?
Can, no problem, Hongkit. The questions really is, to the contractor, is a matter of priority. Right now, the priority, and it is also a balancing act. There are a lot of expenditure, whether it is a good time or bad time. The expenditure contractors need to focus on is paying their subcontractors, and like you just correctly mentioned. In my opinion, technology shouldn't be put under the department of expenditure. It should in fact be put in the department, the categories of investment. The real question here is whether the return of investment is high enough as compared to what you are investing right now. And whether the investment that you put in investing in your technology can prevent you from major losses. And like it or not, it is a time to embrace technology. That is why we are all here. We are entering into the 5G era. We are all in MCO stuck at our home, but we are here. We are virtually here. All of us, a few hundred of us are here. And MCO make us realize the importance of technology. After MCO, the technology will stay. The question that I have for contractor right now is, if you still insist that technology is not important, you don't see value, the thing that you have to consider is, are you confident enough to continue to run things traditionally to compete in a digital world? Like it or not, contractors, you have to get online eventually. And I have to mention that technology adoption takes time. It is time for you to start looking. What you want to do now is to get a good tool for your employee that can help them to take action that prevent you from wasting money when they make mistakes. There are a lot of leakages. Technology can actually help with that. I hope this answers your question, Hongkit.
Yes, thank you, Puiman.
Okay, Puiman, just for a minute, assuming that a construction company decide to invest in technology, right, to improve the running of their business, what are the things that construction companies should look at or consider when choosing the right technology software that would suit their purposes?
For this, right, there are three important criteria that I would suggest for contractors to look into. First one is understanding the challenges that you are facing, because different sizes of contractors, you face different problems. Technology cannot solve everything. You cannot try to look for a technology that can solve 100% of the problem in your company. What you want to look for right now is, are you able to find a technology that can solve one major expenditure problems that you are facing right now? That is number one. Find a solutions that can solve the biggest problem that you are facing, number one. Number two, which is the most important one, is the solutions. When you buy a software, right, 99.9% of the time, you are not the one using it. It's your employee using it. You need to find one solutions where your employee are willingly use it without you forcing them to use it. In other words, they are willing to use it even though you are not asking them to use. That itself will give you a tremendous value, which brought me to my third point. When your employee decided to use the solution that you invest, you would then be able to get a good data. You will be able to see more in data that help you to make a better decisions. Good solutions should help the directors to have more control over the company in terms of spending, in terms of control, in terms of monitoring the risk. I would strongly suggest you as director, if you want to hook on into choosing a solutions, get something that where all your different people can see different things in different departments, which allow them to take actions. Thank you, Wai Loon.
It's always easier to say than to do. So many construction companies have the idea to invest in technology at some point, right?
Yes.
But the major fear by the top management is that after the company invested, the user had no desire to implement. There's
Yes.
great resistance from the users. So very often the decision to adopt technology is made by top management. The site supervisor then may show resistance when either not involved in the decision-making process or they are left out of the procedural aspect of the process.
Yes.
It is human nature to try and keep their methods and customs unchanged and stick to the comfort zone.
Yes.
Therefore, change is not easy. I experience that myself every day at my workplace. Perhaps you could tell us how would you address this resistance to change attitude in respect of the construction technology implementation?
You are absolutely right, Hong Kit, on this. Imagine this, the construction company has been doing business the same way 30 or 40 years traditionally. If you ask them to change immediately, it's not going to happen. Many directors have this very wrong mindset that they think that, oh, I pay 100,000 or I pay 1 million or 10 million on technology, immediately tomorrow I will see changes. It doesn't help. It doesn't work that way, bosses. It doesn't work that way. Change is a process. There's something that we call as change management. For construction technology, I find one very good tips that I learned based on what I have been dealing with most of my clients is, what I would do is I will segregate your departments into different team players. So everyone everyone should receive a specific training designed only for them to get things done for them. They do not need to know too much. They do not need to know any other things or need to know any other function in the software. They just need to know how that particular software they need to use to help them to get things done. Focus on specific training to reduce the change resistance. And obviously, there's going to be an initial learning curve that everyone has to go through when adopting the technology. But once they realize how easy it can be and how it can empower them to do their job better, then technology will then become the new normal in your company. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I mean, let's be more realistic about this. Puiman, from the data and your experience, right? Mm-hmm. How is the percentage of success in your experience that these technologies have actually brought positive financial impact on a particular company that has adopted the software?
And looking at to answer these questions, to look at the sizes and the solutions that the company adopt. If you are adopting the right solutions, I am 100% positive. I'm 100% positive that you will have a major financial improvement in your company. The answer is very simple. Why? Because when you adopt a good technology, right, you are basically streamlining your workflow. Compared to traditional, right? Traditional, when you put in SOP, people can refuse to follow. In tech, they can't. Because if you don't follow the technology workflow, nothing can be done. And now, it's so simple when everyone is being put in the same platform. What directors will see is there's no more blame game between site and office. You cannot blame that, oh, over budget because he haven't ordered or he urgent order. You can't. Like for instance, in Speedbrick, right, we see a reductions of over order 98% for most of our clients. And how we are able to do that is we give them 100% of risk alert. When you are going over budget, I tell you, hey boss, you are over budget. Hey, site supervisor, you are over budget now. When we tell everyone that they are over budget, people will start to take actions. And the best thing is, this is done before over budget happens. Before it happens, I already tell you, hey, you are wasting money. Whether you are going to take action on it is really up to you. Thank you, Loon.
Puiman, based on your experience, what do you think is the reasonable budget the contractor should be looking at if they decide to adopt construction technologies in their company?
Based on my experience, actually this is not experience. It's basically there's a global research on this questions. Globally speaking, different industry has been putting different kind of investment into their company and the industry. Constructions, we are looking at an average of less than 2%, as compared to financial industry, 8%. Obviously, the more you invest, the more benefit you see. That's why a financial industry has been way before us. So my take is it should be around 2 to 8% at this moment. Thank you.
Okay, let's take the perspective from global to back to your personal perspective. What is some of the return on investment that your clients have seen from using construction technology?
I knew you were going to ask these questions. Okay, I think most of the users here are going to try to grill this out from me. Okay, return of investment, it really depending on the size of my clients when they come to me and the seriousness of the problems that they are currently facing before coming on board. Return of investment can split into two different categories. Direct investment, a direct return, which is you can see money ka-ching, ka-ching, or the indirect part. For direct investment, right, direct return is every time when my system tell you that, boss, you're over budget, that you immediately are able to stop you from losing money. So my clients have tell me that one of the things that I can see is they are able to pick up material ordered by site which has not been budgeted in the system by QS initially. Things like health and safety helmet, safety boots. They are also being able to catch repair work costs. So the damages at site caused by subcontractors, now they have to buy material to repair the defect, and now they are able to then back charge the relevant subcontractors who caused the defect of the particular work. And one more example is when site people are buying material on behalf of their subcontractors, they are able to then back charge this money to the subcontractor. So you are seeing the immediately financial return there. And for indirect costs, it's actually on time. And 30% of our users right now are using us after working hours. And some of them are using it during midnight, like 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. And people are working on board right now. They can work at any time they want. So we have been complained by a client that we are being too fast. They said, hey, Puiman, you're too fast. Your system is too fast. Because of the streamline, that is actually a good sign. So to sum this up, I am very confident that every 100,000 that you invest in Speedbrick in terms of a material management, you will get at least a minimum of 100% of return, and it can go up to 7 to 8 figures. Thank you, Hongkit.
Hey, Puiman, I got a question from the audience. Perhaps you can actually address this at this moment since we have a few more minutes left. One of the participants has actually commented that when you're talking about construction technology software, right? It is only more relevant to bigger construction company. For small companies, do you think that it's not relevant at all? What do you think about this comment, Puiman?
Whether you are big or small, it's just a different technology that you need to adopt. You do not want to adopt a technology for a big size company in your company. You want to adopt a smaller solutions for you. For instance, if you are very small, first step you want to focus on is how to get all your documents online. Now we are stuck at home. If you're at home, can you actually do work at home? The first thing is what you need actually now is to get a good solutions that can help you to put all your documents online. Your focus will not be so much on expenditure anymore. Your focus is more on how to get things visible and allow yourself to work anywhere. That's number one. And number two, even though if you are smaller, If you're smaller, it means that your cash flow is tighter. It's more important for you to spend money on advancing yourself, because you have to be competitive. Like it or not, you will not forever be small one. When no one will do business to continue to want to remain to be small, you will eventually grow. And it is always a good time to start looking and a good solution, the right one for your size. Don't go big. Thank you.
Oh, okay. All right. We still have about 1 or 2 minutes left. Pui Man, thank you very much for joining us, and share your views on this platform. Do you have a concluding remark for our audience?
Oh yes, definitely. To conclude, I am just going to emphasize one more time. Technology is here to stay. Whether you are big or small, don't be too ambitious to try to solve every problem that you have in your company. Find the correct and suitable solutions that is suitable for you. Remember, when you make decisions on your procurement, on your technology, you are not making decisions for yourself. You are making a decisions to decide whether your employee will use that solutions. You want to buy something that your employee is willing to use, so that it allow you to have a good control. And one final thing is technology, digital adoption takes a long time. It takes at least 3 to 6 months. You better start sourcing now. Otherwise, it's going to be getting tougher and tougher for you.
I see.
Yeah.
But Pui Man, you know what? I got a very urgent request from one of the audience here, who said that if they are joining this platform, right, would they be able to get a discount on software?
Okay, for this audience out here, for whoever that is that saw what you've seen, my company is able to do a free demo, to a better demo for everyone, and to help all contractors to get on board with digital adoptions. What we are able to do is we give you money back guarantee. In 6 months' time, if you are not happy with what you use, if we do not help you, we will pay you back 100% of the money. And of course, you have to bear for the training fee. So you have to pay for the training fee. After getting us on board and you're not happy down the road in 6 months, come talk to me. I just pay you back. There's no, you don't have to tell me why. Of course, I'm going to ask. I hope discount-wise, if you see that I can save you 1 million, would you still ask me for discount? Thank you very much.
Pui Man, can I personally ask you for a 10% discount for all the L2 participants?
L2 participants for 10% discount.
10%
so we are
discount.
At around 302 people here. 10% discount.
No, what I mean is not the participants that attended today's session, is for the whole MCO period. Would you be agreeable to that? Because this will be evidence. I think a lot of lawyers are there.
Hong Kong, yeah, we are pushing Pui Man.
Both of you are.
They're giving her a lot of tough time. But I think it's time for us to conclude our session here. And hopefully you have anything to say.
Yeah. Apart from the 10% discount, when we will continue to discuss, and then we will make an announcement to our L2 participants. I think construction team's efficiency is often the make or break factor in its success. So technology is often a prominent part of efficiency improvements within any project teams, and providing the project team with the tools for efficiency certainly empowers them to do a better job. And with so many technology advancements in the market today, rehauling project team operations is certainly not easy. Making a decision becomes overwhelming due to the many potential outcomes and risks that may result from making a wrong choice. So bearing in mind, just because you use construction technology doesn't mean you are improving efficiency. In fact, the wrong technology can actually hinder productivity and bring disastrous financial consequences to a construction project. Therefore, you've got to be particularly cautious in selecting your tech partner before going into the water. Thank you everyone for spending time with us this morning. I hope you enjoy it and found this session beneficial for you to apply this information in your further decision. Remember that every day we are having different special guests elaborating on different topics. And tomorrow we are going to talk about managing construction claims. Do continue to join us. Thank you. I will continue to talk to Pui Man about the discount and make further announcement. Okay, see you tomorrow. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
See you, everyone. Stay safe.
Bye-bye.